Hello and welcome to today's video where we will be discussing the rise of women's MMA in the UFC. Women's MMA has come a long way since its inception and has become one of the most exciting and popular aspects of the UFC. In the past, women were not allowed to compete in the UFC, but since the introduction of the women's bantamweight division in 2012, female fighters have become some of the biggest stars in the sport. One of the key drivers of the rise of women's MMA has been the emergence of dominant female fighters. Fighters like Ronda Rousey, who won her first 12 professional fights in a row, and Amanda Nunes, who has held titles in 2 different weight classes, have captured the attention of fans around the world with their exceptional skills and fierce determination. Ronda Rousey, in particular, was instrumental in raising the profile of women's MMA. She was the first woman to sign with the UFC and went on to become the inaugural UFC Women's Bantamweight Champion. Her charisma, fighting style, and dominant performances helped to attract a new audience to the sport and brought more attention to women's MMA. Another factor that has contributed to the rise of women's MMA has been the increased visibility of female fighters. The UFC has made a concerted effort to promote its female fighters, featuring them prominently on its pay-per-view events and in marketing campaigns. Additionally, social media has allowed female fighters to connect directly with fans and build their personal brands, which has helped to raise their profiles and increase their popularity. The UFC has also been investing more in women's MMA in recent years. In addition to the women's bantamweight division, the UFC has added divisions for strawweight, flyweight, and featherweight. This has provided more opportunities for female fighters to compete at the highest level and has helped to raise the overall level of competition in women's MMA. The rise of women's MMA has also had a positive impact on the sport as a whole. It has helped to attract a new and diverse audience, including many female fans who previously may not have been interested in combat sports. This has led to increased revenue and exposure for the UFC, which has in turn led to greater investment in women's MMA and more opportunities for female fighters to compete at the highest level. In conclusion, the rise of women's MMA in the UFC has been one of the most significant developments in the sport in recent years. With the emergence of dominant female fighters, increased visibility and promotion from the UFC, and a growing fan base, women's MMA is now firmly established as a key part of the UFC's offering. And with more and more talented female fighters entering the sport every year, the future looks bright for women's MMA in the UFC. The UFC is now recognized as a leading promoter of women's combat sports, and it has set an example for other organizations to follow. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.